The emergence of Peter Obi and his Labour Party into the national limelight is a harbinger of revolution of a sort. The traction gained by Obicracy hits the establishment who have been boasting of structure like a thunderbolt. And like the popular musician say in his popular lyrics, they never see me coming. It is obvious that the political class never saw Obi coming. Or shall we say they saw him coming, but they just despise him and disdain him, thinking it's business as usual and nobody can stop us. But events proved them wrong. As the major backbone of the obedient, they stormed the street and went out en masse to vote and shatter the status quo. Thus, like the tsunami, Obicracy swept the Nigerian landscape, bulldozing and uprooting every structure to the chagrin of many. This cataclysm caught the establishment as they least prepared for what hit them. They were caught napping. This led to the hanky-panky, hit or miss, and all kinds of political shenanigans they engaged in. And because, how can we explain that Obi, who never had any structure, who have not been here before, to be disgracing us on the pole? No, something must be done. And so they went into their political laboratory. The old war horses resorted to their familiar games. And that result is what we see today with all the multiple litigation. Although many factors can be said to be responsible for this, but the immediate factor, the last straw that broke the camel's back, were corruption, impunity, government inefficiency, insecurity, and hunger. The Buhari administration came up with all kinds of promises to address this and to address that, so that raised so many hopes to high heaven. And even the most skeptical and cynical of Nigerians, they bought into his vision because they decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Even yours sincerely too fell for it. He promised to tackle insecurity, poverty, corruption, lack of infrastructure, and all that. Right now, in 8 years, very little has happened and a lot has gone disastrously wrong. In these 8 years of Buhari administration, poverty, corruption, and insecurity, the three scourges he promised to fight have fed fat on weak leadership and swamped the country. Buhari had lowered the bar of good governance so effectively that it would be very, very difficult to see how it can be made lower. It will take a generation to retrieve bits and pieces of the country that have drifted apart owing largely to incompetence and insensitivity in tackling pluralism. The country was almost irretrievably damaged by the pure poverty of ideas that is the hallmark of the Buhari administration. On corruption, it is a truism that under the Buhari's watch, corruption has been elevated to an art, to the extent that it is now a crime and self-inflicted punishment not to be corrupt in Nigeria. As many aides of Buhari and appointees loot blindly the various treasury under them without fear of deterrent, many ludicrously ridiculous metaphors were now introduced into the Nigerian political lexicon. You now hear of, snake swallowing billions, rats and insects are now eating billions of naira in Nigeria. As Nigeria continue to make herself an object of ridicule in the international arena, with so many puerile narratives, many youth and right-thinking Nigerians were uncomfortable with this and they were yearning for an opportunity to strike. That opportunity came with the candidature of Peter Obi. Obi may not win the presidency, but the impact he has made has remained indelible and can never be erased again. He has left an indelible footprint on the political land, on the political sand of Nigeria, a solid foundation on which gigantic democratic structure can be erected. But the concomitant acrimony, animosity, and bitterness generated by the process of the elections that brought the president in waiting in must be addressed. Whether we like it or not, Femi will still buy his spare part from Emeka, Chukwudi will still chase Funke, Tunde will still marry Ngozi, and Mama Chibuzo selling dry fish in Makoko or Odiolowo in Mushin, Lagos, will not, because of the tension on ground, refuse to sell to the Yoruba family who have been her customer for many years. So, Larry is not the enemy of Nonso. Neither is Adaeze, Nike's foe. The common enemy to all is that corrupt, selfish, and wicked politician who has deprived all of us of our means of livelihood for many years. And they cut across all ethnic groups. It is obvious that the political class are already using the ethnic card to tear us apart. We must not allow them, and we must let them know that we are now wiser and stronger together. It is time to consolidate on the gains that we have made in the just concluded election. The politicians know that the youth of all ethnic groups are beginning to unite, which is bad news for them, because they will not be able to continue their hegemony on the people. They devise all means, including ethnicity, to break the bond, but we must not allow them. We should, at this juncture, advise the president-elect and all his handlers that this is not the time to gloat. One of the problems that have led us to where we are today is the problem of winner-takes-it-all politics. Like I said in my earlier video, I still hold the view that the president-elect owes Nigeria an apology. He should apologize to Nigerians because a lot of bad blood has been created from all the socio-political spectrum, and many families are on the verge of breaking. Old-time friends are severing relations just because of politics. There is palpable hatred between the Igbo and the Yoruba on account of Lagos, for instance. There is this simmering conflict which might snowball into uncontrollable conflagration if not wisely tackled. And this must be tackled from the top. Hence, the need for the president-elect to show maturity by calling together all the warring factions to work out some modus vivendi. The imminent shutdown of CBN offices by NLC should not be allowed to happen because it will further aggravate the already tense atmosphere. Knowing that what provided oxygen for the present tension on the ground is the inimical monetary policy which had no human face by the federal government. It is expected of the incoming administration to seriously consult with the Buhari administration to do everything possible to make cash available. Besides, the people of Nigeria deserve some palliatives because they have suffered so long. A lot of things have happened to so many people that they need to get palliatives in terms of cash, in terms of food, or what have you. So this is very, very necessary. Palliatives should be given. Besides, the new government must reflect the mood of the country by making it all-inclusive. It must not be the I know those who voted for me and those who did not vote for me. That's not what we are talking about. That is where divisiveness comes in. When you are trying to now say, okay, this is the kind of vote I got from the East, the vote I got from the... No, you are the father of Nigeria the moment you get there and you are now addressed as the president. You are not the president of any sectional tribe. It must reflect national unity for the country to heal. Vital lessons to learn from the 2023 election. No longer will any individual or group of individuals underrate the power and resolve of the frustrated youth. It is politically suicidal to underestimate a popular political opponent who enjoys the unflinching support of the youth. Politicians now know henceforth that the implementation of their campaign promises should be the first thing the moment they resume office. Vote buying on the day of election, especially when you are not popular, when people are tired of you, is ineffective. Food and material distribution during election, only during election, when you know that all year round the people have been hungry, you never attended to them, but you waited till the day of election. That is not only an insult to the common sense of the people, but also a sign that those who distribute money and material things, they don't have anything to offer. And so, henceforth, politicians will have to take their office very seriously, because governance is a serious business. It should not be taken for granted. And Nigerians are now wiser. And the ubiquity, for instance, the obedient family, they are waxing stronger and stronger by the day. This is the real revolution. Until I come your way next week, I remain Professor Nemblos. And in our next episode, we shall attempt to set an agenda for the new administration. Thank you for watching.